Number 10. Unpaid internships, disguised as experience. They don't call it exploitation, they call it experience. But take a step back, and the shape is familiar. Real labor, long hours, zero pay, and no guarantee of a future. It's work disguised as opportunity, and it's entirely legal. It's like a big fat loop so employers don't have to pay you. Unpaid internships are sold as a rite of passage. You're told to get your foot in the door. What you actually get is free labor for the company and a resume line that may or may not matter. Meanwhile, your landlord still wants rent, your grocery store still wants cash, and your future job, they might still pass over you for someone with more experience. The only people who can afford to take these roles are already financially supported. Everyone else gets locked out or forced to choose between survival and a chance. This system doesn't need chains, it has ambition. It doesn't need guards, it has HR. There are places in the world where this model would be called exploitation. Here, it's called paying your dues. Number 9. Extended warranties that cover nothing. You're at the checkout. The cashier asks if you'd like to protect your item for just a few extra dollars. It sounds smart, a little insurance in case something goes wrong. But most extended warranties aren't designed to help you. They're designed to never be used. The most common issues are often excluded in the fine print: accidental drops, water damage, wear and tear. Some require third-party approvals, multi-week waiting periods, or proof that's impossible to provide. And by the time something actually breaks, the warranty's expired, or the process just isn't worth the trouble. In most cases, customers either forget they bought it or decide it's easier to replace the item outright. That's not misuse, that's the business model. Retailers and third-party providers make millions from warranties that are never claimed and face almost no downside for selling them. It's not a scam in the legal sense, but it works the same way. Offer peace of mind. Deliver paperwork. Number 8. Life and mortgage insurance. The illusion of protection. You buy life insurance to protect your family, but in many cases it doesn't protect them, it protects your lender. Mortgage insurance, for example, doesn't pay your spouse, it pays the bank to ensure their investment is safe, and if you miss a payment, even after years of contributions, your claim can be denied. Quietly, legally, permanently. The fine print is designed that way. It's not an accident. Payouts are structured with loopholes, timelines, and clauses that are easy to trigger and impossible to challenge once you're gone. Many families only discover this during the worst week of their lives. The paperwork arrives, the insurance declines, the house is gone. It's not that the system failed, it just worked exactly how it was written. Number 7. The college ranking scam. College rankings look objective, but under the surface, they're more like paid promotion than peer review. Many of the top lists, including the ones used by students, parents, and even employers, rely on data submitted by the universities themselves. That includes graduation rates, alumni donations, faculty credentials, and even vague terms like reputation. None of it measures teaching quality, none of it tracks student debt or long-term well-being, but all of it affects perception and tuition prices. Some schools hire consultants specifically to boost their numbers and rankings. Others game the system by excluding certain students from the data, especially those more likely to struggle. The result? A prestige economy that rewards schools for looking good on paper, not for educating well. It's marketing dressed as merit, and yet those numbers steer life-changing decisions. People move across the country, go into decades of debt, choose a path because one school had a slightly higher rank on a list built on sand. Number 6. The printer ink pricing trap. Printers are cheap. Ink is where they get you. A basic printer might cost $60, but the replacement cartridges? Often $80 or more, for just one color. HP, Canon, Epson, they don't make money on hardware. They profit from what they call the razor and blade model, sell the base cheap, and overcharge for the consumables. But it doesn't stop there. Most printers now come with DRM chips that detect and block third-party ink, even if it's identical. Some will refuse to print in black and white if a color cartridge is empty. Others disable printing altogether once you cancel a subscription plan. That's not technical limitation, it's programmed scarcity. There's no good reason ink should cost more per ounce than human blood. But in a system that thrives on repeat purchases, logic isn't the point. The real product isn't the printer. It's your dependency on it. Number 5. Brand name drug scams. Pay for delay. Imagine this. A cheaper version of your medication is ready. Same formula, same dose, same result. But it never hits the shelves because the expensive brand paid to keep it off the market. It's called pay for delay, and it's completely legal. Pharmaceutical giants regularly pay generic manufacturers not to release lower-cost alternatives. They sign settlements that delay competition for years, sometimes decades. It's not about protecting innovation. It's about protecting market share. In 2010, the FTC estimated that pay for delay cost Americans over $3.5 billion per year in inflated drug prices. And that was 15 years ago. By keeping generics off shelves, companies can continue charging $500 for something that should cost $40. And for patients, there's no negotiation, only a choice between going broke or going without. This isn't a loophole, it's a business model. Number 4. The forever chemical cover-up. They're called PFAS, short for per, and polyfluoroalkyl substances, also known as forever chemicals because once they're in your body, they don't leave. These synthetic compounds were used in non-stick pans, waterproof clothing, food packaging, and even drinking water systems. For decades, companies like DuPont and 3M knew they were toxic. Internal documents show they had the data and still chose to sell the products anyway. The effects linked to cancer, liver damage, immune issues, and developmental problems. And they've been detected in the bloodstream of 97% of Americans. There's no recall, no cleanup, no real accountability, because PFAS chemicals were never regulated like they should have been, and now they're part of the environment and your bloodstream. Governments are still arguing over thresholds, corporations are still denying responsibility, and people are still cooking dinner on the same old Teflon pans. Not every scam sells a dream, some just sell you something they knew would stay inside you. Number 3. Rebate breakage. Offers you'll never cash in. You see it everywhere. Get $100 back. Claim your rebate now. But what they don't mention is how often you won't. Rebate breakage is the business term for money that goes unclaimed. Companies rely on the fact that most people forget to submit, lose the receipt, miss the deadline, or give up when the process gets too annoying. It's not an accident. The system is designed to make redemption inconvenient. Some require you to print out forms, cut out barcodes, and mail everything in, with no guarantee of success. Others add vague conditions or delays that quietly disqualify you. And once the deadline passes, the money stays in the company's pocket. It's a win-win. For them, they get the marketing boost of offering a discount without having to pay for it. In some industries, up to 70% of rebates go unclaimed, not because people don't want the money, but because they were never really supposed to get it. Number 2. Fast food value. They used to call it the dollar menu. Now, it's the $2.19 menu, for half the size. Fast food chains still use the language of value, but the math has changed. Combo deals are often more expensive than ordering each item separately, portion sizes have shrunk while prices have crept up, and limited-time promotions reset just in time to raise the baseline price again. It's a game of psychology. People anchor their expectations to old prices even as the products get smaller and more expensive. Value becomes a brand word, not an actual metric. And because inflation is blamed for everything, the price changes slip under the radar. In the early 2000s, you could feed a family of 4 for under $10. Now, a single person might hit $15 for the same order and still leave hungry. It's not just sticker shock, it's shrinkflation, hidden in plain sight. Number 1. Passports, the price of permission. 100 years ago, most people didn't need a passport to travel. You could cross borders with little more than a name and a reason. Today, you need paperwork, fees, biometric data, and sometimes approval just to enter a country you've never harmed. The passport system as we know it is relatively new. It became widespread after World War I, not for safety, but for control. And over time, it turned into a global gatekeeping mechanism. Now, a US passport costs $165, not including rush fees, passport photos, or the cost of getting to one of the few approved offices. Lose it? Pay again. Need it fast? Pay more. And depending on where you're going, you'll still need to pay for a visa, with prices that vary wildly based on politics, nationality, and time of year. It's not about identity, it's about proving you're allowed to leave. What started as a temporary wartime measure became a permanent bureaucracy. And now, movement, one of the most basic human freedoms, is locked behind a paywall.